True Plays.
Everybody, True Marvels here, your Million G Gamer. Welcome to a look at Rodent Warriors on the Xbox One. It's out now, came out the 19th of February, and it's priced at £4.99 in the UK, and that makes it in the US and EU regions $5.99. Now, it is by Jandusoft, published by them anyway, and by a team called Rodent Warriors Team, so they've named themselves after the game, or they've named the game after themselves. So I have played this game through to completion already, so this is more of a kind of just overview of the game, what it actually entails, and you know, what I think of it, and if it's worth buying for the price. So achievement wise, it's not hard at all. There's 36 of them. Most of them are got just by playing the game and accumulating various amount of XP levels, etc., killing so many enemies, things such as that, creating items, crafting items. The most annoying achievement is this final one, which is overcome 10 challenges. I'll go through them in a second with you what it actually means, but it is generally an easy 1,000 game score if you are in it for the achievements. So we're going to start the game off. Now initially you only start off with one class, which is the mouse, but as you play... oh, I've got a game running already. Let's reset the character. Yeah, as you play and get the characters to certain levels, you unlock more classes. Now, to start off with, there's this weird kind of questionnaire thing, and at first when you boot the game up, you have no clue what this actually is. Basically, answering these silly questions will shape negative aspects of your character. Now, there's no way you can determine what these are going to do, so after I realised that, I just pressed B to skip, and it just generates a character anyway. And to be fair, I have not really noticed any impact of what these things do, but these are linked in with the challenges that I mentioned earlier, the 10 challenges you have. Now, we skip that, but you can go through it manually if you decide to want to figure it out. Now, initially you start off with a mouse, who they all have an inherent ability of every time you play as them and you level up so many times, you get a plus to a certain stat. Now this character here, as you can see, it says dexterity. There'll be so many levels I go up with this character while playing as them. Every other character I create, even characters from other characters, have +1 dexterity. So as you can see, I've played with this character 11 times and I've managed to accumulate everybody's got a +89 to dexterity. The knight is vitality, so you get more health for each character. As the more we play as this guy, the skill levels, you get special activational skills, combat skills, maybe buffs, debuffs, healing abilities. These go up as you use the abilities. It's one of those games where you use the ability, it grows stronger. But unfortunately, when you die, because this game's kind of roguelike, you normally revert back to level 1 again and everything is reset. But with this guy, the higher the skill level retention, the higher level each skill will remain at. So he's a very good guy to have, really, if you use skills an awful lot. Varying his strength, self-explanatory, more damage. This Weasel, his ability is item level retention, so you craft items in this game. Again, crafting reverts back to level 1 if you do die, but with this guy, the more you play as him, levels will be retained throughout subsequent playthroughs, so he's again a fantastic character to build his inherent buff with. Intelligence, I've only played with this guy one time. Intelligence boosts the strength and recharge rate of your skills. I didn't really find this guy overly useful, to be honest with you, and his play with him is not very fun. But we'll just start off with we'll start with the mouse, which is what you guys will start off with when you play the game for the first time. So these are the challenges that I mentioned. These are the debuffs that this character has from answering those questions, or rather from me skipping the questions as I did at the start of the actual game. So in the game itself, initially you'll only be presented with one level to choose, or maybe two, and you press on them and they tell you the mission, what the is. So it's like 4 power stones. Compensation is your rewards, so you're going to get various things to help you strengthen moves, buff your ability, and various sort of stuff. It tells you your probability of success, 95% on that one, so that's good. I'll see if it's giving me one of the challenge clearing ones. No. Okay. What'll happen is, because it's randomly generated each game, usually the end challenges of a continent, and the compensation, it will say experimental, and that's what removes a challenge. You complete that and it removes a challenge. Oh yeah, and you just got to remove 10 of those. This is the game itself, so you move left and right, you press right trigger to attack with your standard attack. And you see your associated skills at the bottom of the screen there. You won't obviously start off with those when you start on a fresh game, and the number by them tells you how, you know, what level that skill is. So the more you use the skill, the more it levels up. What you see on the screen at the top there, RT at the top there, that's your regular attack. That has a cooldown as well, so you can see whatever attack there, it has to refill before it can attack again. That's what dexterity helps with. Dexterity helps refill that a lot faster. The red bar, which is now green because I'm poisoned, is my health. It starts off at a massive amount of some buffs that I've attained by playing the game. Blue bar is your skill powers. Each skill you use does use a certain amount of power that regenerates over time. And the number 3, as you can see underneath there, that is the level that the current character is at. As I say, when you die, you do revert back to level 1 again. We'll see another bar to the right there with a flashing bow and a yellow bar. That's his XP bar. Every time you kill an enemy, that bar will go up, goes up, the bow starts flashing to tell us we've got a skill point to spend. I'll show you in a second what I can spend now. Press LT to go into your skills, and you can increase character strength. Just damage, obviously. It tells you in each of the boxes what each one does. You can choose what you want to increase there with your PP points, as it calls them. We've got a map, obviously, there. The map, I've seen certain people say this is confusing, but it's not really. You always, in the actual game screen, travel from left to right, but obviously in the real world map, you're maybe moving up and down like I am at the moment. So, like, I'm moving here, there's a path to go down. So obviously, looking at the map, that means I will now be moving on the left to right path. So now moving left to right actually moves me left to right. It's not that hard, really. It's I can imagine some youngsters maybe getting a little bit confused over it, but it's not that difficult. And even just wandering around, you'll grasp it eventually. So on the map, you might see the faces. They're boss characters, not really bosses as such. They're really just stronger enemies that you have to watch out for. And when you get to a certain level, you don't really have to watch out for them much anymore, because it's they're not that tough, really. With these games, the more you'll play, the more you'll progress actually through it, and find yourself advancing more and more levels. I can get to the second continent on a regular basis now, before the game starts kicking my ass again like it was on a fresh playthrough. And again, the solution with all of these games is you need to play a lot more to pass that wall, and then you'll progress a bit further until you hit the next wall. That's how these games tend to work. But in terms of other features that it has, we have a crafting ability by clicking the left stick and moving across with the bumper buttons. We can tap to these various screens here. These tells us what its challenges are, what our negative buffs are. which eventually you can get removed. Like I say, by completing challenges, it removes an entire challenge from the actual game itself. So we tab across here. This tells us what special skills are. So if you want to check what the skills are, you can check what they do there. Legacy, this is the inherent legacy levels that you get from playing more and more as a character. Tells you what each of the guys' bonuses do. This is the weapon screen. The weapon screen is actually quite interesting because not only does this use to equip weapons, which is obviously self-explanatory, but if you press RB on the screen, you get to a screen called relics, and this allows you to save a certain amount of items. Obviously it only starts at 1 when you first start the game, but it allows you to save an item for future playthroughs, so when you die you don't lose that item, it will carry over to any other playthrough. Now some items are universal and work across all characters, some only work on certain classes, like for example this set of swords here. As you can see at the top there, it says mouse, so it only works with the mouse only. So I tried to go for only the universal ones, but when you get an item that good, which is plus 256% weapon damage and plus 172% defense, that's pretty damn good. So I decided to keep that one. There is a bug with this screen, unfortunately, which I have reported, where once you get the full row of items or relics here, you can't access the second row. So these items on the second row are permanently stuck. I can't move my cursor onto them. So that is unfortunate. And I imagine that if I play more, I'll unlock more and more rows here, possibly up to another 5 I could possibly unlock there. There's room for it anyway. But yeah, that's unfortunate. What else do we have? Oh, this is the crafting screen. So the number on each of these items is what level the crafting's at. Now, it will obviously start at 1 at the beginning, and if you don't advance the character who does crafting retention, it will always start at 1 at the start of a playthrough. But because I've got crafting retention, my crafting starts at these levels. And again, with everything in this game, it's the more you craft, the better you get at the skill. Sometimes you get a duff craft, which is this if it's broken, so you press to reject that one. If the number isn't yellow, that means you can't craft an item. And you just compare the stats with what you've got originally and see if it's any better, really. And if it's not better, you just reject the item. If you like it, there's no boots at the moment with this character, you press A to equip it. And then you just keep crafting until you run out of resources. So a broken one. There's actually an achievement for crafting so many broken items. That's pretty much the game, really, in a nutshell. You just walk around, you do the quest objective, which can be, it's normally either collect so many items, which are normally at the end of each path, or it's kill all the bosses on level. The objectives are marked on the map, as you can see with the green arrows, and then you fight a boss. And I'm just, you know, when you first start the game, you'll die an awful lot. You'll feel not even getting anywhere, and it sucks at the start, but the more you play, you'll start to advance until, like I say, you hit a brand new wall, and then you play a bit more. The problem the game has, as one of my quest items, is that this is basically it. The classes don't play particularly different from one another. The music, as you've probably heard in this 15 minutes so far, is pretty much the same throughout, and very, 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 very annoying. Yeah, it gets repetitive and old really, really fast. Now, while the game is only £5 to buy, it's still not very fun to play. So I would say with this game, unless you are in this for achievements, I wouldn't buy this at all. It's just not that much fun. In all honesty, it's just not that much fun at all. So I hope I try to give a quick overview of the game there, as you can see what it's like. Because essentially it's just walking into enemies and just pressing the right trigger button or the A buttons. You have no influence over anything else really. Oh, and there is one other weird feature as well. I'll have to remember how to do this because I never really activated that much. If you... Oh, that's not it. If you go into one of these screens here, you go into... Where is it? Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Diary. There we go. Diary screen. And you press Y. You have these toggle switches. You have this strategy mode off button, so you can toggle whether you want the game to play the game for you. So if I tick this, so I want the game to move for me, level up for me, attack for me, craft and equip items, perform skills and manage relics. I don't want it to manage relics because that usually messes things up. And if I turn this on, go back to the game, I'm not holding the controller now. This is doing it all by itself. Now, the only reason I can think this game exists, and it's a good reason, is for make it more accessible. Say that you have difficulty holding the controller and navigating the stick, you can automate this and just initiate the attacks, for example. Same with the crafting, navigating the menus you may have difficulty with, so it could do that for you. That's a good thing, really. But it is a little bit of an odd feature because it's not really explained as accessible. An accessibility feature, and it's not also marketed in that way from the game description on the storefront. But anyway, I just thought I'd point that out for you, just in case that is a useful feature for yourselves there, which it could be for many players, and it's not a mentioned feature on the marketing page, which say you think it would be, because it's a positive thing, really. But yeah, other than easy achievements, if you was buying this just to you thought it looked good and wanted to play it, I would say you'd save your £5, spend it on something else, put it towards maybe another game, or just keep it until something more appealing comes along, because there's not really anything to offer on this. It's very boring, very fast, and yeah, it's a disaster, I'm afraid, and don't buy it, even if it's on... I mean, I suppose if it goes on sale for 99p, pick it up then, but you're not going to have a fun time with this game. It's boring and a chore to play after you realise that this is the limitation of the actual game. But anyway, hope that helps you guys decide what to do with your hard-earned money. And if it has helped you, I would appreciate it if you could leave a comment, leave a thumbs up. And if you want more content like this, hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you know when I go live. Not when I go live, that's Twitch, but know when I upload a new video. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.